Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, I have a story for you, not just for your listening practice, but also to inspire you. This story is called The $20 That Started Everything, and it will show you that a small beginning, if you never quit, can grow into something you never imagined. There was a young woman named Maya, 24 years old, living in a small apartment above a laundromat in a busy city. Maya had big dreams. She wanted to build her own business one day, something that was truly hers. But life wasn't easy for her. She worked two jobs, one at a grocery store during the day and one cleaning offices at night, just to pay rent and send a little money to her mother back home. One evening, exhausted after her second shift, Maya sat on her bed and counted the money in her wallet. $20. That was all she had left until her next paycheck. She whispered to herself, I want more than this. But how do I even start when I barely have enough to survive? The next morning, on her walk to work, Maya passed a small farmer's market. A woman was selling handmade candles at a little table, and there was a line of customers waiting. Maya stopped and watched. The candles were simple, nothing fancy, but people loved them. An idea struck her. Maya had always loved making things with her hands. When she was a child, her grandmother taught her how to make soap using natural oils. She hadn't thought about it in years. But standing there, watching the candle seller, something inside her woke up. That night, Maya searched online for the cheapest supplies she could find. Wax, wicks, small jars, a few drops of scent. The total came to exactly $19.40. It was almost everything she had. Her hands were shaking when she placed the order. The supplies arrived 3 days later. Maya set up a tiny workspace on her kitchen table. Her first batch of candles was, honestly, terrible. Some cracked, some had wicks bent to one side. One jar even caught fire because she poured the wax too hot. She sat on the kitchen floor that night, surrounded by ruined candles, and thought, maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe I should just give up and save my money. But then she remembered something her grandmother used to say. A crooked candle still gives light. Fix the wick, not your dream. Maya laughed at herself, cleaned up the mess, and tried again the next night, and the night after that. By the end of the second week, her candles were smooth, evenly poured, and the scents were balanced. She made 12 candles in total and packed them carefully into a box. On Saturday morning, Maya asked the market organizer if she could rent a small table. She had just enough money left for one weekend spot. If this didn't work, she told herself, she would go back to saving quietly and forget the whole idea. She set up her tiny table between a bread stand and a jewelry seller. Her hands trembled as she arranged her 12 candles. For the first hour, nobody stopped. People walked past, glanced at her table, and kept walking. Maya felt her chest tighten with disappointment. She almost packed up early, but then an older man stopped, picked up a candle, and smelled it. This smells like my mother's kitchen, he said quietly. I'll take 2. That was her first sale, $4. It wasn't much, but Maya felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Pride. By the end of the day, she had sold 9 of her 12 candles. She walked home with $41 in her pocket, more than double what she started with. Maya returned to the market every Saturday for the next 2 months. She used every dollar of profit to buy more supplies, and slowly, her little table grew. She added new scents. She designed simple labels by hand. She started writing small notes on each jar, telling the story of why she made that particular scent. But success wasn't easy. One Saturday, a bigger candle company set up a booth just 3 tables away from hers. Their candles were in beautiful glass jars with printed labels and bright displays. Customers who used to stop at Maya's table walked straight past her toward the fancy new booth. That night, Maya sat at home feeling discouraged. How can I compete with that? she asked herself. I don't have their money or their equipment. She almost decided to quit the market for good. But instead of giving up, Maya did something different. She asked a few of her regular customers what they liked about her candles specifically. One woman told her, "Yours feel personal. I know your face. I know your story. Theirs feel like a store." That comment changed everything. Maya realized she didn't need to compete on shine. She needed to lean into what made her different. Her story, her personal touch, her handwriting on every label. She started inviting customers to share what scent reminded them of home, and she custom blended candles based on their memories. Word spread quickly. People began requesting her at the market by name. 6 months after that first $20 order, Maya had saved enough to rent a small stall inside a local shop, open 5 days a week instead of just Saturdays. She named her little business Maya's Kitchen Light, after her grandmother's saying about the crooked candle. A year later, she was shipping candles to customers in other cities. She hired her first part-time helper, a young woman from her old neighborhood, who reminded Maya of herself 2 years earlier. Unsure, tired, but hungry for something more. Maya never forgot that first batch of cracked, crooked candles sitting on her kitchen floor. She kept one of them, the very first, broken one, on a shelf in her shop, right next to the door. Customers often asked about it, and every time, she told them the story. "That candle taught me," she would say, "that you don't need a perfect start. You just need to start." Maya's story teaches us a few important things. 1. Big dreams can begin with very small amounts, even $20. 2. Failure is not the end. It's information. It's a chance to fix the wick and try again. 3. You don't have to compete with everyone else's shine. Your own story is often your biggest advantage. 4. Showing up again and again, even after a slow or disappointing day, is what separates the people who build something real from the people who only dream about it. Now it's time to learn vocabulary from today's story. Exhausted means extremely tired. Example, Maya was exhausted after her second shift. Supplies means materials needed to make or do something. Example, she ordered candle-making supplies online. Batch means a group of things made at the same time. Example, her first batch of candles was terrible. Discouraged means having lost confidence or hope. Example, she felt discouraged when customers walked past. Compete means to try to win against others. Example, how can I compete with that big company? Personal means related to an individual in a meaningful way. Example, her candles felt personal to customers. Profit means the money earned after costs. Example, she used the profit to buy more supplies. Regular customer means someone who buys from you often. Example, her regular customers loved her story. Handmade means made by hand, not by machine. Example, she sold handmade candles at the market. Determination means a strong decision to keep trying. Example, her determination helped her keep going. Crooked means bent or not straight. Example, a crooked candle still gives light. Try to use these words in your own sentences. That is one of the best ways to remember them. Now let's practice speaking. Repeat after me, slowly and clearly. I started with almost nothing. My first try was not perfect. I fixed the wick, not the dream. I showed up again the next week. My story became my strength. Small beginnings can grow into something real. Practice these sentences a few times. This will help your pronunciation and your confidence. Thank you so much for listening to this story today. I hope it inspired you and helped you learn some useful English at the same time. Now I have a few questions for you. Have you ever started something with almost nothing? What is your version of the $20? What would you do if a bigger competitor showed up right next to you? Please write your answers in the comments. I would love to read them. This story motivated you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring English stories. Take care, keep learning, and I will see you next time.